Okay, so the only thing we have due this week is bill number 2, which is in the U.S. Constitution folder. We're going to open that. In that assignment, you have 2 links. One is a Google Doc that's a blank bill template. The problem with the blank bill template is a lot of people go, that's nice, but how do I use this? It's just empty. So my sample bill is also there so that you can see an example of one that is very short and concise but well written. We're not going to use that one. We're going to use the blank one. So please make a copy of the Google Doc so that you can edit it and type it and have your own. Some of you already did that. You're awesome. Most of the things that you're going to want to make a school policy change or a state or federal law change already have laws about them, like abortion, like murder, like kidnapping, like the homework policy. So you just have to find the existing law or policy and change it to what you want it to be. So we're going to do 2 of them together. A school one first, which is really simple. Let's say that your party wants to change something about the school's makeup work policy. Like you missed class, you didn't turn your stuff in, or you want to retake a quiz, that policy. There's already a rule about it, but you want to change it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'll make a copy of this bill template as well. How do we name these bills? HB question mark, because they're going to get a number. Representative, your last name. Your party in parentheses, so J for Jumpmen or BOA for Bison of America. I'll make one as if our representative from Wyoming, Cynthia Loomis, wrote this. And then if you know a title, I'll come up with an interesting one later. So, on the header, that's the top part. Here's what we know. Principal sponsor is you. So, representative, your last name. You also know your party. You can abbreviate that if that's what you would like to do. This one is going to be a school level bill, and we're going to use the school handbook. So we're going to highlight school. To make all of our lives easier, we'll just use yellow, but at the end of the day, it's not a huge deal. We're going to change the makeup work policy. So you can come up with a cool acronym or a cool title, but for now, let's just put in as a placeholder, makeup work policy. Yeah, just as a placeholder, you can change that later if you want. So principal sponsor is representative you, party is your party. Title of your bill is just makeup work policy for now, and we highlighted the school level because that's where it would apply. So, preamble's easy, but if you haven't looked at the makeup policy, you don't know what it is, we should probably do that. Does anyone know how we can bring up the school handbook?
School website.
Yeah, school website. Sublet9.org. And then go to BPHS, and then you'll find the handbook. So I have it up already, but I'll pretend I'm with you, and I'm like, oh, I don't know where to go. We're going to go to sublet9.org. Most of you probably visit this frequently. That's good. You should. On the top menu, we're BPHS Home. Now, the quick links on the left side, you can see the only one that's grayed out for me is the one I use a lot. Student Handbook. You can also add this to your Google Drive so you have it on your phone and don't need to go through this every time you want to look. If you are not familiar with the school handbook, it is essentially the constitution of our school. Go to the high school website. Can you answer that? Because I'm recording myself.
Mr. McDuffie's room.
BPHS home at the top, son. If you don't know how to get there and you're in our school, something's wrong. Tommy, can you help him out?
Yeah, I can. Yep. Right. Devin. Miss Clemens.
Just walk in there, but he's not going to, don't call him.
That'll happen.
That's handy.
Okay, we should have the school handbook up. It opens as a PDF. Now, silly students who listen to English teachers go, I'm going to find the table of contents and then I'm going to scroll down. No. Control F, make up. As I have done, it shows up 5 times. On page 12 of 50, you will see the makeup/late work policy. If you have never read this, good thing you're in my class.
Wait, I have a question then. So remember if you said that you can change both players and drugs, or alcohol, you're off team?
Not just if I catch them, if you get a training rules violation in general.
Yeah, then you're off team, but...
No. You'll never play.
Oh, so you'll let us stay on the team?
I have to, but I don't have to let anybody play. Yeah. Oh. So, everyone should be on page 12. Here's what the makeup/late work policy says. Students with excused absences have 1 class day for each excuse to make up assignments and assessments. Pre-excused absences require that all work be completed upon the student's return. Students with late assignments may be required to report to the teacher's classroom from 3:30 to 4 p.m. until the assignment is turned in. Your teacher has the power to say, that missing thing you didn't do today, come in after school, I'm making you do it. I choose not to use that power because I choose to pretend you're not 7 years old and I don't have to treat you like elementary school and take away your birthday to get you to do an assignment. But others may have a different philosophy. That is their right according to this policy.
Is there a rule for using profanity?
Yes. If a student fails to attend the assigned after-school makeup session, so you skip it or don't show up, you forfeit the opportunity to earn credit on that assignment. A score of NHI, which is valued at 0, will be recorded after the assigned deadline until the assignment is handed in. That's the policy. Now, let's say you wanted to change this somehow. That's the point of your bill. I'm not going to tell you how to change it. I'll just make one up. There's already a rule. We want to write a bill on this. So, all we're going to do is copy and paste the makeup late work policy. Does it let us do that? Let's just, do you guys have a download arrow on the top right of your screen? Then we can. There's always a way. It's a beautiful thing about technology. Because I don't want to type that whole paragraph. That's a waste of 2 minutes of my life. So if you download that as a PDF, now we should be able to copy and paste that. Let's pretend that you had the power to wave a magic wand and change that policy in any way you want. Take something out, reword it, add something in. So I feel like if we mixed a little bit of corporal punishment in with the 30-second detention, maybe more kids would do their work. So I'm going to rewrite it to say, you're going to have to do some kind of physical punishment while you're in there making up your work. Because I think then you take it more seriously instead of just sitting in the room with your colored pencils daydreaming for 30 minutes. Let's make you do wall sits. Okay?
Then how are people going to get stuff done?
Should have done it at home. So, was everyone able to copy and paste that policy? Here's what we're going to do. For section 1, just paste that in. Now, here's why we number bills. You can see each line has a number, so they're easy to refer to. In a PDF, hit download on the top right, and then it'll open as a PDF. A common mistake people are making is their enactment clause. You don't want to put a year on your enactment clause. you want to put a day of the year after passage. So let's say you want to change this as soon as possible. So here's what some government students say. They go, okay, this bill shall go into effect on October 30th, 2016. What happens if this passes after your enactment clause? It never goes into effect. So don't put a year. So let's say if you're really going to change the makeup work policy, should that go into effect in the middle of a semester? Probably not. So there's two ways to look at this one. At the start of the next full school year, or the start of the next full semester after passage. You pick, there's no right or wrong answer. I'm going to do the next full school year after passage. Now, no matter when this passes, the next full school year after that, it is now law. So what you need to do is change the existing policy that we copied and pasted to say whatever you want. So we have an enactment clause without a year. That's a good thing. You can't really do it wrong, but you don't want to change this in the middle of the school year. That'd be a weird change. So let's go section 1. All we have to do is say the BPHS policy on makeup/late work shall now read. And then you have the full thing word for word, but you just want to change something, add something, take it out. The BPHS policy on makeup/late work shall now read. Make it say what you want it to say. And then, in your whereases, come up with 3 reasons why we should do that. So, let's say, yep. Pretend you have a magic wand and you can make it whatever you want. That's what I'm going to do. No, we haven't changed anything, son. You just copied and pasted the policy as it reads, right? Now, change it to say what you think would be better, whatever that is. And what the policy says, if you skip that makeup time, so let's say Mrs. Hughes says, you got to come in tomorrow and do that assignment. Well, she can't make you come in. She's not your mom, unless you're Devin. But she can say, if you skip that, now you get a 0, and I'm not letting you make that up. I'm going to add a little extra to the end of that, because I think that's pretty boring and bland. So here's what I did. I added a few things. So I made them red. You can tell red's my new stuff. Black is the old policy. When it says that you can be required to come in from 3:30 to 4, I added this afterwards.